pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Visitors' comments? Do we have any visitors that want to make a comment?
I would like to present this letter from Akuaha at the Nipmuc Nation to the Board of Health and to the Select Board, entitled Objection to Use of Muddy Brook Land for a Dump Site of Any Waste. Dear Judy Cohn, Department of Public Health and Board of Selectmen of the Town of Hardwick, as an interim counselor of the Nipmuc Nation, a confederacy, alliance, union for all Nipmuc people and for all Nipmuc bands and tribes of our 10,000-year-old and continuing homeland territory, encompassing 2,500 square miles, 2/3 of the land of Massachusetts, being the people and land of the fresh waters. Please be informed that we Nipmunks have always and do respect, honor, and care for our homeland territory, its lands, fresh waters, animals, birds, trees, vegetation, flora, fresh air, fishing, and farming, etc. The town of Hardwick, its citizens, are living on the land of one of our historic bands, tribe, and vast village of Quabog Nipmunks, who occupied the land for over 10,000 years and are still residing there through today. We Nipmunks have the divine inherent right and responsibility to take care of our land and the land that you now also occupy, as well as its surrounding region. It is our original and primary duty and directive, the same as all humans, to respect, honor, and take care of the Mother Earth, which our land is part of, and to know that Mother Earth will continue to take care of us. This paradise that we all live in now must not be further polluted with any chemicals, medicinal waste, toxins, bacteria, etc., which has and shall harm the earth, ground, fresh waters, fresh air, and all living beings served thereby. It is for our human health and those of other living beings that we are compelled to stop making the earth ill, as it is our own health and well-being that also has become and shall become further ill as a result. We are each and all part of Mother Earth, one living being with millions of living beings, including humans, part thereof. It is the absolute position, recommendation, and urgent advice by the Nipmuc people, bands, and tribes, and of the Nipmuc Nation that the town of Hardwick reject and oppose the use of any of its land for any dumping of any waste now and in the future. No town or government, nor the town of Hardwick, can ever have control over the true origins and contents of the waste arising out of the many contracts by the proposed waste company, and thus the town of Hardwick will never truly know what waste is being dumped on them. There are alternate sites on Earth which can be used for dumping of waste, and these sites, while more expensive for transport, will keep all other living parts of the Earth safe and healthy. The Arctic and the Antarctic. Propose and let the federal government step up to fund plans to dump and store all waste far away from humans and all living beings as part of its climate change policy. Better spent funds than on the 65% of the federal budget for defense. Ship it and bury it deep, frozen for millions of years, away from the harm to our children, grandchildren, and beyond the next 7 generations. Further, we can presume that there exists within the Muddy Brook land Nipmuc art, artifacts, arrowheads, and even human remains. Significant battles were fought in that area, particularly the Wampanoag Nipmuc War of 1675 to 77, aka King Philip's War. And there are many artifacts and human remains buried in the lands of that area, of Nipmucs, of Wampanoags, and of English settlers, which includes Hardwick. The Federal Native American Graves Protection Act of 1990, NAGPRA, which includes Native American art and artifacts and remains, is applicable here to this issue of using this land as a waste dump, as the state of Massachusetts, its towns, Hardwick, as well as museums, institutions, colleges, universities, state and municipal agencies receive federal funds and must comply. Any individual and any tribe can make a complaint and seek to enforce the protections of NAGPRA, in which the land, grounds are to be protected, and no unauthorized digging and no organic material nor toxic waste shall be placed on and in the land, which affects its archaeological examination, which is primarily conducted from the organic material upon and surrounding the land site. Therefore, it is for the protection of the historical, archaeological integrity of the entire Muddy Brook site that there be no dumping and storage of hazardous waste and waste of any kind. By virtue of NAGPRA, the proposal of use of the Muddy Brook land as a waste dump must be summarily rejected and denied. Thank you very much for your conscientious and responsible acts to save and protect our earth and our lives. I may be reached if you have any questions. And then she puts Earth Day 2024. Best wishes, Catherine Akuaha Wheaton, citizen of the sovereign people and government of the Hassanamisko tribe of Nipmunks of the Hassanamiset Reservation and interim tribal counselor of the Nipmuc Nation.
Thank you very much.
Here, here.
This will be on the website and available to anyone. And you stole my thunder. I was gonna wish everybody a happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Any other visitor comments? Okay, new business. Any new business? Cemetery Commission, annual cemetery contract. Fee schedule, charge, account.
So we
Anyone here to
have-
speak to that? Sir,
Mhm.
ma'am?
So, I sent out the scope of services to 3 different businessmen in the area that do landscaping. And only one replied, that was Laurie Crevier, who has had the bid for the last 3 years. And so this year, her bid for fiscal year '25 is $24,900. I think it went up about like $800 or $900 from last year.
And it's our only bid.
That's our only bid.
We budgeted 25,000, so.
Okay, that was my next question. I'm fine with that.
Can we get a motion?
I would make a motion to accept the recommendation from the Cemetery Commission to award FY 2025 to Laurie Crevier in the amount of $24,900.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve town administrator job description.
They have a fee schedule that they want to change to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was with,
So we also have a,
Sorry.
we would also like to increase our fee schedule. So you should have a copy of the present fee schedule right here. And the selectmen voted on that in July of '21. And then behind that, we have our fee schedule that we're proposing. Do you want me to go over it, or do you just want to read it? How would you like to do it?
Find it.
Good though.
And these, so burial plots for $1,000, what were they in the past?
Yeah, it's right here. It was 850.
It's the page behind
The
you.
height there.
There you go.
There we go. So we're going up 100, 150.
I'm fine with this.
I mean, is there, did you guys compare this to other areas, or is this something just for you?
I think the first and most important thing for me to say to this board is that all of the other towns surrounding us, the towns completely support their cemeteries. We, as a cemetery commission, have to raise our own fees, and I know that the town does, through the annual town meeting, fund the mowing of the cemetery, as well as the town does pay our electrical bill. But everything else that we do is from the funds that we charge to the people who are, to the families who are burying their loved ones at the cemetery. So the only thing we get from the town is the mowing of the cemetery and then our electrical bill. I can just go over a couple things if you don't mind. Some of the things that we have to buy, that we have to make sure that we have enough of money for. So grass seed, loom, cement, we buy those things regularly. And then also the paying of the highway department, because it's the highway department who digs the holes for the burials, whether they be a full casket burial or a cremation. And then they come back and they put in, they cover it and seed it and everything. Then also, we pay the highway department for the footings for all of our monuments, that's the big monuments, as well as the footings for the ground markers. So we have to make sure we have enough of money for that. We also buy military flag posts for newly buried military persons. The posts that we put in the ground, that we then on Memorial Day put a flag in. Also ground markers. What we're trying to do now, whenever we sell a lot, is we put 4 circles. Is that what they're called, Jimmy?
They're aluminum pins.
Aluminum what?
Pins.
Oh, okay, all right. So we like to identify a lot by putting in 4 pins so that we know, as well as the family knows, that this is their particular lot. So we have to buy those things. Recently, in the well house, we had our pump breakdown, as well as the water tank that was in there in the well house. It was all rusty. So between Jimmy and Benny, they're removing the pump, the old pump, and the rusty water tank, and they are going to be the ones who are going to be installing the new ones. So we need to have money to buy the new pump as well as the tank. Also tree removal. It costs a lot of money to have the trees removed, and we need so many trees removed. There'll never be enough money in our budget to remove the trees, but we kind of try to peck away at it, a couple of trees a year if possible. We have a couple trees in the cemetery, especially as you enter through the main entrance on the left-hand side, where over the winter, a lot of those, right, and Marty has said that he would be able to get his tree
his crew,
his,
to try to help pick it up and
yeah,
take care of it.
and also cut down those 2 trees. I mean, they're very big trees, you know,
They're
the
huge.
trunks are this big. So we're
Some-
hoping,
Some of the problem we're having on those trees is they're located within areas where there's a lot of old monuments. The problem being getting the equipment in there to get the trees down is becoming a big problem.
right. So, what else? The fountain area on the common. The past 2 years, we've had somebody donate their time to plant flowers around, and she's donated some flowers. So we've helped to pay for some of the loom that was brought in, and she paid for the rest. And, you know, I mean, we're just trying to do what we can with the money that we have. So what we're just trying to do is just increase our fees so that hopefully we could get a little bit more money to do some things at the cemetery.
One of the things we're running into is we're discovering how much concrete had gone up. And in some cases, we're putting the markers out and paying for the labor, and we're actually losing money.
Right.
We're not covering the expenses.
But you think these raised fees will keep you in the red?
We're thinking it'll
Well, it'll help.
help, yeah, for sure.
It'll help.
I have a question to ask that's a little odd and morbid. How many burials do you have in a year? Is there a more or less average?
It varies depending on how many people pass away.
Right.
But I would say maybe 10, 15 at least, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean,
Yeah.
we do a fair amount of cremation burials. We do not as many full body burials.
Right.
And they're in effect comes into play is a full burial, body burial creates more income, obviously, and there's a little more work. But same token, when you start realizing you're doing more cremations and you're getting a much less smaller fee, it's hard to pay the overhead.
Thank you.
But it is a morbid to try to deal
I
with.
didn't know who else to ask.
Yeah, what can you do?
On it. It's your pleasure.
I would make a motion to accept the proposed fee schedule. When would this be effective?
I
Today?
think once,
Tonight,
and I think Ryan posts it for 3 days or something like that. I think that was what I used to do.
He'll be back tomorrow, so.
This would be effective today.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good.
Okay, I would make a motion to accept the proposed increased fee schedule from the Cemetery Commission effective today, 4/22/24.
Second that.
Further discussion?
Can I ask you one other question? So, in the, at the common area, the center of Hardwick, across the street, where the animals are always located for the Hardwick Fair, we, the Cemetery Commission, have always assumed that that area was under our umbrella, under the cemetery umbrella. And that was kind of, all of that was passed on to us as we became cemetery commissioners. But now, it's my understanding that that area is not under the cemetery commissioners. Is that correct? And if it's not, then we don't have to mow it. Is that correct? I just want to get this straight.
I don't know.
It's the agricultural, it's the page agricultural land.
That's what I thought,
Is it
right.
Do you remember going back to when we were gonna put
I'd
the
like
pump
to take a
station?
break here. If you'll be patient with me, I'm gonna call for a vote on that motion.
Yeah.
Before we get too far.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Please go ahead.
So, I just want to know if that area where the animals are,
The whole field. The whole field, you mean? or-
that whole field
Right.
is
Where
not
the horseshoe
under
pits
our
are and the-
umbrella.
Yeah,
That's what you're asking about, the whole
Yes.
right.
field.
Can I
Right.
comment?
Yes.
Wait, I'd like to ask the town administrator first.
Okay.
So when we were going to put the pump station in that area, there was a vote, a town meeting vote that put that area under the care and protection of the Conservation Commission.
Thank you. Mr. Zinni?
I was just gonna try to be helpful, and I was gonna say the same thing that Nicole advised.
Thank you. So we're collaborated on that.
Yeah, we were told that it was transferred from the oversight of the Agricultural Commission or the Page Agricultural Commission
To the
to the
Conservation.
responsibility of the Conservation Commission, just that west side of the road.
Mhm.
We
Thank you.
learned that during the sewage treatment.
Right, and that's why because that's when I learned it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
when
know,
I
it's
learned
news
it
to
too.
us.
Right,
So you don't have to mow it anymore.
that's what I wanted to confirm. Yeah,
George
thank you.
Prouty used to take hay there.
He still
That's,
does.
yeah.
Still does? Good.
He was a second.
No, not George.
Huh?
It's
Different
Steve does.
Oh, a different person. Somebody
It's a
does.
Prouty.
That's all right. There's a lot of crowds.
Like roads. It's all,
There's not many roads left.
Okay, approve town administrator job description and ad.
Thank you,
Vote to
gentlemen and
post.
ladies, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody?
Well, I put together what's in your packet. I just kind of used what we had used in the past, plus kind of another couple of towns. I think it's critical that we get this job posted and put a timeline on it, and then, you know, I think to be ready for when the new board convenes to start interviewing.
You want us to, when the new board convenes, it's in 2 weeks.
Right.
So you're looking to get applications by then?
Well, within 2 to 3 weeks, and then as a new board, we can start interviewing.
Right, I didn't want to do anything until we had a new board myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you'll just be interviewing. I
Right.
think you should get it out there, and it'll give
And
you
I
some
don't-
time to get some application back.
And maybe Nicole knows a good length of time to post for, in order to see
I
what
wanna
we
say,
get
it took
in.
us like 6 to 8 weeks last time we did it.
It was the whole process.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, it's a
Right.
lengthy process. By the time
We were doing 2 and 3 interviews a night.
Yeah, and personally, I'm not in a rush, but go ahead, make a motion.
I would make a motion that we post the job, I mean, is everybody happy with the job description, first of all?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty, standard. I would make a motion that we post the job, the town administrator job description, and set a end date for when we're taking.
Okay, so are we gonna put this line in here about money? Are we gonna put, do we wanna decide that tonight?
Yeah.
In order to post the job, we have to,
Maybe instead of a range, you might want to do this.
maybe depending on qualifications,
So people have an idea.
what it is.
I'd like to get the finance committee in on this to see about what we can afford.
Well, we can afford at least what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, that's what we're doing now.
okay,
I just,
I'm resistant to doing this too quickly.
and I'm
But I think
resistant to, I am
you're not
like,
gonna wait,
I,
so let's have a motion.
So, are you done with your motion?
well, that I would make a motion to approve the job description as noted in the packet, and to post the town administrator's position.
Let's have 2 motions. Let's have a
Okay.
motion about the job description.
I would make
if
a
you would.
motion to approve the job description as written.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
I
Aye. And
I
now,
would now make a motion to post the town administrator's job effective immediately
What kind of
with,
date do you wanna give for?
that's what I'm looking on my calendar here. With resumes to be back,
It's like 2 weeks.
right, by the 6th. We could at least take a peek at them at our first meeting.
Second,
I think you should give more, or you can always vote to extend it if you don't feel like
If we
you have to
don't,
qualify
if we don't
for it.
have, right,
Okay.
exactly.
So by 3 PM on the 6th?
Mhm.
Second thought.
Seconded that. Do we have a range of money?
I like the suggestion of 80,000 depending on qualifications, that's at least where we're at now.
Is that in your motion?
Yes.
Sorry, I seconded too quickly. I second
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm gonna stand fast. Say nay. Okay, audit contract discussion and/or vote. Roselli and Clark.
So in your packet, you have a proposal from Roselli, Clark and Associates. They're public accountants who do auditing. We hired an auditor as of the year I started, 2021. And it was a requirement from USDA to be audited annually, that I feel strongly that it's a good idea to do that every single year. And the Powers and Sullivan who we had, and we had them for this year coming up, but they were absorbed by Markham, and Markham was our accountant last year, and they just did not serve us well at all, and I do not think that they're gonna serve us well this time. So I solicited a few different proposals, but Roselli was the only one who felt that they could have the time to get back to us. It's the same amount that we currently bid for, so it's 25,000. It's gonna go up, next year you'll have to bid a little more. The single audit that is an extra 6,000 is if you spend more than 750,000 in federal funding, which we're just at that cost, but I don't think, we didn't spend 750 of their money. We're
Okay.
still in
Once we do
last year,
that,
once we do, it's gonna,
Then-
they'll need that,
yeah.
so you'll have to bid, you'll have to,
increase that.
increase that one. But, this is who, and this person has worked with Lori Lolo,
I was
who's
just
our
gonna
accountant.
ask you
Yep.
if she knew them.
It was kind of funny, I was on the phone with them, and here I am having these conversations with all of these auditing firms, and they're just so busy and they can't find the people. And, finally, he just said, it's your lucky day, I'm gonna do it, and because you're there and because Lori's there, and I said, well, he goes, oh, there's always a but, and I said, well, I won't be here, but you'll be in very capable
With
hands.
Lori.
And, and he knows Lori, so he's willing to do this, and this is for this year, next year, and the year after. You don't have to sign it, I just highly recommend that you have, an auditor for each year. And I have a, disengagement meeting tomorrow with Todd Jerzyk, who was from Powers and Sullivan, who sold, he's now a managing partner at Markham, they sold to Markham, and so, they just didn't work out for us.
I think I think we should move on this. I mean, with the USDA requirements, it needs to be done, and it needs to be done timely.
Sure, it's your bailiwick.
Yeah, that's my only concern with making sure we're all lined up for the
Yeah.
upcoming year
We nearly lost our grant because of it.
because of that, yeah. So,
Well, I'd seek a motion.
I would make a
sign.
motion to accept the Roselli, Clark and Associates letter of engagement for our audits
Second
for, I was gonna add the fiscal years here. Sorry. Okay,
Seconded, thank you.
perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Robin Prouty, a local kennel owner, has donated an OmniMax microchip scanner to the town of Hardwick for the use of the animal control officer and the police department. This device scans all types of chips and will assist in identifying loose, stray, or impounded dogs in town. Thank you, Robin Prouty, for your generous gift.
That's nice.
Comments? Memorial Day ceremonies contract.
Yes, so, this happens every year. Joe Orszulak, conducts the Memorial Day ceremonies. There's 2 trumpet players to perform taps and national anthem. And there's a contract here for that, for $250 with the chair being a signatory.
And that's normal?
Yeah, every year.
Okay.
It's to me, but, so I can,
Yeah.
because I'm still a signatory for you guys. So, but
Yeah.
definitely in the next meetings, we'll talk about the next person not doing that until you have confidence in them.
Okay, the Leicester Regional Public Health Coalition Inter-Municipal Agreement.
Okay,
He has
I'll mute that.
Yeah.
We have passed it on to you to sign. The Board of Health had a meeting on Thursday to agree to stay with Leicester, the LRPHC. And Ernie signed it, Ernest Warburton, and now all you guys have to do is agree to sign it. I have in your packet the agreement itself.
Yes, we're not going to read it.
Yep, so it seems brand new and wonderful. We're hoping over the next 3 months, they're gonna have many meetings to iron out all the creases. Hopefully, we
Yeah.
all agree, and
Good.
so it's all there in the package.
Good.
You just have to sign.
May I comment as well?
Please briefly, ma'am.
I tried to use the Leicester in, hopefully for upstream work that I've been working on, you know, PFAS and so on, but it's the mechanism for all the downstream work. And in the past year and 3 years, we've learned to do the downstream work so that we could operate on our own. And I'm loath to take the time
Yes,
to
I
bring the rest of the
exactly.
towns up to
Yeah.
speed. I preferred, and I was working to combine all of the towns around water, around the Quabbin. And I think we could do that, not through the Leicester so much as by standing out on our own and so on. So
Joining up
it'll
with a
work.
different...
It'll work with Leicester. And they do our inspections for food.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would make a motion to sign and accept the Leicester Regional Public Health Coalition services.
Second that.
You don't like my motion?
No, I do. I just was kind of getting...
Just sign it.
It should be in your
We
packet.
don't want to push it.
I just
Oh.
gave it to him.
Okay.
Can I sign it?
Well, we made the motion.
Oh.
You wanna vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Here.
I don't know what it is. Sleep.
It's the full moon.
I'm the one that's sleep deprived and I'm doing pretty well.
It's Earth Day.
Pink moon. It's making us all crazy.
Thank God you're here.
That's not what you're really saying. That's okay.
I'll give this to you tomorrow, because I just wrote the contact information.
Annual town meeting discussion and vote of dates and opening closing of warrant. I've spoken to the town clerk, and he suggests June 8th or June 20th, which seems a little late to me. He's not here on the 15th, which would be ideal.
I'm not either.
Okay, so
So that's,
let's
yeah.
not have it then.
I'm,
So,
I
how
think
about a
you-
motion to, oh, go ahead.
I think if you put it at the 8th, you can postpone it, but you.
if we need to, right? But if we go later, then we're really pushing the,
Right,
Mhm.
It gets scary.
I'm confident that we would be ready for
for
the
the
8th.
8th, right? I
Yes.
think so.
FinCom seems to.
Yes, I was
Fine.
just in there with them, and they want to meet with you on the 20th of May. And that's where I would suggest opening the warrant on the 6th at your meeting, and then closing it on the 20th at your
Okay.
meeting
May.
of May.
Mhm.
And then holding the town meeting on the 8th.
On the 8th? And that's enough, yep.
Yeah, that's enough time to you know, for all the required
Posted and all that
statutory
stuff.
requirements, yeah.
And,
May 6th.
When do you open the warrant?
May 6th. Well, they're gonna open the warrant on May 6th, so we'll start accepting things on May 7th.
and, the date is okay for the 8th,
June 8th.
all right, I'll need a motion for that.
Make a motion to set the annual town meeting to Saturday, June 8th at 9 a.m. at the elementary school.
Second that.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So 9 a.m. June 8th. All right. Abatements. There's the laundromat.
Yeah, I have one in here for you that I wanted to just go over with you. He has been coming in for abatements every year since I've been here, but this has really been brought to my attention because I understand this so much better now, but he has 2 apartments and a laundromat, and the laundromat is closed.
Yeah.
So that is 1 EDU. You need to vote to abate the entire, not abate, I'm sorry, take away 1 full EDU. So now he'll only have 2 EDUs, and I have confirmed with the assessor that he in fact is closed, so it is not open. However, he still has 2 apartments. So if he wants to have anything abated from an apartment that may be vacant, which I'm not sure that it is, he needs to go to the assessor's office and they need to ensure that that apartment is indeed vacant. Or be labeled as a 1 apartment. If he says he has 1 apartment, she has it for 2 apartments, so that's just a process that isn't in his office. But if you want to remove 1 of the EDUs because the laundromat is vacant or empty or closed
It's
or
been
whatever,
closed for years. Yeah.
then
Wouldn't want to
he
use
doesn't
it.
have to keep
No.
coming back for an abatement for it when it's closed.
Right.
So you can vote to remove it completely. I can take the interest and divide it by 3 and remove the third of that
Portion.
interest. But that is, he's saying be charged 1.5 EDU, 6% for laundry per the regulations, which I gave you, section M. And he's referring to a non-residential developed with town water. But that's not town water, that's a private water district. So he's really non-residential developed without town water. And it says, 1 EDU for 10 employees, and it's been verified that he doesn't have any employees. So it's perfectly legal in your
To take
purview to
that
take that one
EDU out.
away. But to act on the others is not at the moment, until we find out that it's vacant and that it actually is only 1 apartment.
Okay, so we'll vote to,
Remove the EDU?
Right.
Okay,
on the laundromat.
correct, right, okay. So I would make a motion to remove the 1 EDU from the High Street address for the laundromat.
I'll second it.
Oh, 126 High Street.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that's
That's
correct.
good. Laundromat, the old laundromat.
Well, it's no longer laundromat, so
Right.
just wanted to make sure the address was clear,
Yeah.
because it goes in the record that way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So this is, what you're authorizing is me to go into our system and remove 1 full
Mhm.
EDU. It has nothing to do with an abatement.
Okay,
So he'll have to come
And
back for
then he
abatements
can come
later.
back
He'll
for
come
the
back for
abatement.
abatement
to prove that
to prove that the apartment is vacant, and then he can get a third off of that 1 apartment that's vacant.
Okay.
Well, do
Thank
you want
you.
me to just make a motion that we're gonna take no action on this abatement?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Is it also in the requirements?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Never mind, it's not important. Thank you.
Meeting minutes approval.
Mr. Chair, it says other new business, and a resident was in today, but he missed the visitor's comments, and I think he might wanna say something, if you don't mind having Paul come up and. see
Don't
if
mind,
he
would you
missed-
like to speak, sir?
Sure would.
Come on.
Okay, how can I present this diplomatically?
Can you just say your name and address?
Oh, somebody. Charles on the road.
Okay, thank you.
Been here since I was a 3-year-old. So I approached the town administrator several times. My complaint or observation is that an industrial building was allowed to be constructed on High Street, immediately across the street, the way you were just talking about, the laundromat on High Street. So, how can I describe this? From 150 feet away, this is an industrial building. The original building was one-story building, maybe 30 or 40 feet long. This building's 8 times the size of the original residential street building. Don't know why it got approved, don't know why it got constructed, but from my parents' house, doesn't mean it's me or you or my parents. 150 feet away, half of a football field away, when the sun's out, turn your back to it, and you can do your finger motions on the wall, shadow fingers.
Is this the Quonset?
Yes, or whatever you want to call it, industrial building. So how would anybody here like to be dealing with that? My mother's been here since 1955, looking out her window. There is no view now. You step away from the window, from 150 feet away, it's an 8-foot wide window, 4 feet tall, takes up half the window. There's no view there. If you want to get blinded, everybody's welcome when the sun shines. I've got sunglasses. And there's street light glare every night off of this dedicated street light. That's 365 nights a year of street light glare off of that building. My house is 800 feet away and I still get blinded by it. The interesting thing was nobody approached the immediate neighbors to see if they were okay with this. Considering it's a George Gilbert side street, 100-year-old side street, a residential street, why is an industrial building that belongs on a 1,000-acre farm or an airport parked on that street? It's a fascination to me. What else can I say?
We don't know anything about this.
I know what he's talking about.
It's like an 80-foot long by 30-foot mirror.
It's a
Do
big
you have a picture of this?
industrial Quonset.
Excuse me?
Do you have a picture of it? We're just.
There are photographs here. I gave it to the
Yeah, I've seen them.
board.
But it would have needed a building permit, so.
That's what I
would've thought
told
so,
him.
yeah.
I said if he comes to you, we're going to ask if he's spoken to the building inspector and if there's in fact a
Have you
permit
spoken
if
to
it's
the building
allowed.
inspector about this?
My last approach to the building inspector was, I think, quite disrespectful. He was condescending to me. The first thing he said was, you didn't want to talk about it. Sounds like you need a lawyer. No, I need somebody to address the situation. I've heard comments through, whatever you want to call it. Tell the woman that lives there, my mother, 98-year-old person, tell her to close the shades. Every day that the sun shines, somebody's going to tell my mother what they're doing in her house to close the shades?
Did the building inspector say that?
No. That's hearsay gossip through small town mouths.
Have you spoken to the owner? Do you know him forever? Has he always lived there?
Let me make this comment. That place was a museum-like property. Emil and Jenny Diamond lived. There wasn't a blade of grass out of place. If you want to take a look at it now, you can see the difference of something that was museum-like for now. That's got nothing to do with the industrial building.
Is he running a business out of there?
Don't know what he's doing. I don't want to say too much because my relationship with this person is quite not stable, and I don't want to make a comment about it now in front of anybody here.
Good
People that
idea.
know my personal story, they understand what I'm dealing with. What else can I say? I'm a spokesman for the local people here. I've heard people made enough comments about their building, you're bringing the neighborhood down. I happen to be to the point where I've had enough, you know, I can only handle a pebble in my shoe for so long. The cork just came out of my mouth right now.
That's fine, that's where you should be complaining to us.
It's a complaint, but it's an observation. I don't care who lives there. I don't know who's gonna put up with this. It's every day the sun shines. Who approached the immediate neighbors? Are you okay with an industrial building that size? It's 8 times the size of the original garage. It tucks right in a residential simple side street in George Gilbert's town. Once again, it belongs on a 1,000-acre farm or an airport.
Well,
Don't know what else, how to present it to you.
all I can say is we'll direct the building inspector to look at it. If you can get your neighbors to sign a piece of paper that they complain about this, that might be beneficial.
There are no immediate neighbors to see it. My mother's house and my house are the immediate neighbors. People travel by and they don't care what it looks like.
Okay, well, all we can do is direct the building inspector to look into it, and if it was built without a permit, then it's illegal, and we'll get on it. It'll be a while.
It's ongoing, it's not,
I understand,
Something
it's there all
temporary.
the time.
but here's the thing. There's no glare on the west side. It's covered by trees on the west side. The east side is wide open for sun glare. And at different times of year, it's more intense. And once again, you wanna do shadow figures 150 feet away, 10 feet from the window, you can do this on the wall whenever you want. It's like sun off a flat wall or sun off of a mirror, not nice.
All right,
So whoever lives there, I don't care who it is, it's not acceptable. And as far as I wanna say about my privacy, what does that say about anybody that lives there if it's not me? There's no view. The solution is board the window up and paint it black. What are windows for? I wanna look out the window and see something, not a building taking up an 8x4 window from 10 feet inside of a room. Sad.
all right.
So, that's the best I can present it to you.
Well, I think
And I am very upset. I've been sitting on this for long enough. So I hope something can get done about it.
All right, we'll,
Thanks for your time.
Look into
Direct.
it.
yep. Thank you.
All right.
Comments?
Where is this?
Across from the old laundromat on High Street.
He's been to the Board of Health too.
We've sent our health inspector out and they're cleaning up.
Oh, that.
If they don't, they're gonna get slapped by a fine
Oh,
of,
not the laundromat up here.
I'm not sure what the fine is,
Yeah.
but they've been ordered to clean up the mess.
Does that mean put everything undercover?
For everything that he can see from his house, it's right along the side of the road. We also have the photograph of the building he's talking about, and it does face into his mother's house.
It's unacceptable.
Well,
Well, then make it go away.
We told him to speak to the building department, and he doesn't have a good rapport with the building
No,
department.
that happens.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
We have a lot of complaints.
Okay, we shouldn't be talking about people when they're not here.
Yeah.
Is this something that maybe went by the planning board?
It's something that somebody just did and
Oh,
no
If
town
nothing was
officer
pulled,
noticed it.
right, if no permits were pulled, or, then there's definitely action that can be taken. It's gotta be by the building department though,
oh.
yeah.
Finally, things can be
Kinda out of our
removed.
jurisdiction to
Mhm.
some extent.
Well, we should
We can
be
try to push it
directing.
along, right, yeah.
If it's zoned residential and there's a commercial building that's not licensed to be there,
Well, that's what we
then
have to look into.
the zoning board would
Yep.
probably need to get in
Yeah.
on it as well.
So,
Yeah, we could send it to the ZBA.
Yeah.
a commercial building is only
Get
a
on it.
building that's.
In fact, there it is.
Right.
You guys take care of
We're
that.
worried,
we got it.
right now.
a commercial building is one in which a business is being
I know.
run out of, so,
Not
It's not the
exactly.
type, it's like.
Full of motorcycles and dead cars.
perfect.
All right, thank you all. Meeting minutes approval.
I would make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April 8th, 2024.
I'll second it. In favor?
Aye.
Old business. The Morss Scholarship Essays. Bill Cole was looking through things, money for the endowments for the trust for the Page Library, and found these Morss scholarships. Mrs. Morss did a lot of the donating of money. He found that there was $1,500 or so that hadn't been used
Mhm.
in
So
a
we're gonna-
couple of years.
We're gonna do 2 $500 scholarships.
Right, and we've put out the word that kids that are going off to college can put in for this, but last week was
Well,
vacation.
they're not due till May 17th,
So we're not gonna
to
deal
be
with
reading
them
essays
tonight.
at May 20, right?
So you don't have anything to read us tonight, okay.
No. We got ahead of ourselves there.
Good. Committee reports. ZBA, want to report?
Nothing to report.
Okay,
But there will be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe.
We anxiously await the opportunity.
And you've made your report, ma'am, thank you. Town administrator report. I would seek a motion to dispense with the reading of the report. It's online.
Perfect. Everything is pretty much ongoing, no?
Yeah.
The town administrator report. We can skip it.
No, I haven't read through it.
If you have any questions, let me know about it.
Second? Second, I think you made a motion.
Put it online.
No.
That's what, well, normally she goes through it and then it's posted for anyone to see.
Yes. I don't think you have to make a motion.
Yeah.
You just don't, unless you want me to read it, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It's online, I've read it.
Yeah, okay.
Signatures and approvals.
I think you
We did
signed
one.
everything.
Selectboard Roundtable. That it?
Move to adjourn? Can I jump ahead?
Second?
I know, once an adjournment is moved and seconded, there can't be discussion. It calls for a vote immediately. But I'm going to say thank you for your service.
Yes.
This is Robert Ruggles' last meeting as a selectman. So, thanks a lot,
I would,
and glad you made it.
I would second that because I feel like we did a lot of work those first couple of years.
Took over from chaos.
Yeah, so I thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Rob.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
7:22.
It's 7:22, Sandy.
So we have to go see those buildings.
Now what are you gonna do?
He's gonna go fishing.
I know,
I have my boat.
we're gonna drive by.
It's where the new laundromat is.
Still have to find time to go fishing.
Oh, it's over there?
Great.
Still commuting.
My back goes by street right down here behind.
Label restaurant right there at the track. That's kind of a wraparound porch.
So I have this
The only
nice
place I could find is right behind here.
Right, here's a laundromat, just below.